Hello everybody, this is Overboy, and I'm going to be doing my review for the 2017 movie Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. So, in this movie, Rey develops her newly discovered abilities with the guidance of Luke Skywalker, who is unsettled by the strength of her powers, and meanwhile the Resistance prepare to do battle with the First Order, who has them on a chase across the galaxy as they're running out of fuel. So this movie, I have a lot of mixed feelings on this one. This was one of my favorite movies in the trilogy when it first came out. I actually think I liked it more than The Force Awakens when it first came out because of how different it is than any other Star Wars movie and everything. But I somewhat like that they tried to do something different. There are a lot of things that they do in here that I don't like too, but there are I at least respect that they tried to do something different with this movie in a way. Like I said, I have some mixed feelings on it. The cast, I think, are all, once again, pretty good. I think Mark Hamill gives the best performance in the movie, though. I love seeing this version of Luke, although I don't really like with everything they do with his character. But I think Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver are both, once again, excellent as Rey and Kylo Ren. And I love the Force connection that they have between Rey and Kylo Ren throughout this movie. I thought some of those scenes, just them talking and stuff, were really cool. And I like that how we get to see three sides of the backstory, because Luke wasn't fully honest the first time. Then we see Kylo Ren's side of it, and then the side from Luke's point of view, and I thought that was really cool, and everything. I don't really agree with everything they do with that backstory, but I do think it was cool getting to see it from different angles. And the scene with Rey and Kylo Ren taking on the guards after he kills Snoke is just a lot of fun. I'm one of the people that used to say I was a really avid Reylo shipper. I'll talk more about that when I get to Rise of Skywalker. But I really wanted to see them get together by the end of this movie, really, to be honest with you. But like he was in the prequels, because that's one of the things I didn't like about the prequels was CGI Yoda, even though it made sense on why they had to make him CGI because of the way he moved around and stuff. But I thought that was pretty cool, though. That was one of my favorite parts of the movie, is seeing him and that little conversation he has with Luke when Rey first leaves the island and stuff, or the planet. But as far as negatives go, there's I'm kind of mixed on this movie. Like I said, I wouldn't fully say it's a negative on some things, but there are some things that are negatives on this too. But I don't really like a lot of what they did with Luke's character arc. Him being a hermit on the island because he failed and stuff, that part don't really bother me. But there's a point in the movie where he should have left the island to go help the Resistance and help Leia and stuff. And they don't do that. Instead, they just have him use a force projection to stall Kylo Ren for a few minutes so that the Resistance can get away and stuff, instead of showing up in person and facing him the way he should have and everything. I hate that. The more I watch this movie, that part of the story always irks me, because it's like, that is not Luke and everything. And the fact that Luke almost kills his nephew because he feels like there's a dark side to him and all that, and then he could destroy everything Luke's worked for. On writing, it sounds like it makes sense and everything, but when you look at Luke's character and everything, this is the character who refused to kill his father because he knew there was good in him and everything. And even if he did sense darkness in Ben Solo, I don't think that the real Luke Skywalker would have just tried to kill him and everything. He would have just tried harder to keep him on the light side and would have probably enhanced his training and stuff. I didn't really like a lot of the stuff they did with Luke on that and everything, and the Force projection thing, and the way he dies just from using the Force. It's just a big insult to not only Luke, but the whole Jedi stuff and everything. Like it's just an insult to Jedis and everything to me. I don't know why, but it really bothers me. Like every time someone uses the Force in this trilogy, they freaking die. Because Leia dies right after using it in the next one because they couldn't think of any way to write Carrie Fisher out of the story and everything. And it just, I don't like that. I think that is the stupidest thing. I mean, like watching the prequels, and you see how they use the Force, and at times it's like, how the hell did that not kill them? Everything is because Disney came up with stupid ideas for this trilogy and everything. There's some humor in this that feels like it came straight from the MCU and doesn't fit into the Star Wars movie at all and everything. I don't get why they added some of the humor. There were a few parts that made me chuckle and stuff, but even when I saw it in the theater for the first time, when I was actually enjoying it for the first time and stuff, I felt like the humor didn't land. A lot of the time it felt like it came straight out of the MCU. Rian Johnson might be a good choice to direct an MCU movie. Maybe he'd actually bring something different to the table, and they won't be a movie that doesn't feel like the same as all the other ones we've seen in recent years and stuff. But what he did with this, it was terrible. And the humor and stuff just does not fit. And the action is pretty lackluster, except for the throne room scene is pretty cool, but that's really the best stuff. A lot of the space fight scenes and stuff, they're cool and stuff, but we've seen it done better in other Star Wars movies and everything. And it just, while it doesn't rehash everything from A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back, this one you can tell it takes inspiration from Empire Strikes Back, and they tried to have that big twist reveal thing when Kylo Ren kills Snoke and everything. I was shook when I saw that for the first time. I was like, oh wow, they did something really crazy with this. And they butcher a lot of stuff that follows this in the next movie and everything, and it kind of just feels like there was no point in Snoke at all and everything. He was just a pointless character. And I feel like it could have been better. And a lot of the side plot, like the mission to the casino planet and stuff with Finn and Rose, is pointless and everything. That they don't achieve anything going on that mission, and it just wastes part of the movie. I didn't really like that. And while I respect that he did try to do something different with it, I feel like Rian Johnson did more damage to the Star Wars franchise, and especially this trilogy, than he did good for it, really, and everything. So all in all, I feel like The Last Jedi, it has some good moments and stuff, but the problems it created for the trilogy, and it does some things that could have been handled better if they had the trilogy plan and everything. But the way the next movie goes and tries to retcon everything from this movie, it just makes this movie feel pointless and everything. Partially Rian Johnson's fault, partially Disney's fault. Disney and Lucasfilm and them, they shouldn't have let Rian Johnson have full creative control. They should have planned out this trilogy better and everything, but they didn't. And I just feel like this movie could have been so much better. So I'm gonna give Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi, a C. Really and truly, it deserves less than that, but I do have some enjoyment out of it and everything. Not like Rey. I like the stuff with Rey and Kylo Ren. I really enjoy that stuff, and I like some of the stuff with Luke on the island and stuff like I don't mind him being a hermit and stuff like that. But honestly, I think the minute he found out Han died, he should have left to go to Leia, and because that's what Luke would have done and everything. And there's also a really cool moment that I forgot to mention that I love every time I watch it. It's just one of my favorite scenes when Luke goes onto the Millennium Falcon and he sees R2-D2 and he plays the message from A New Hope. I do love that scene and stuff. Like little moments and stuff here and there are really good in this movie, but it has so much potential to be so much better. So Anyway, I'd say I'd at least give it a C though, because like I said, I can get some enjoyment out of some of it, but there's a lot of it I feel like just could have been done better, and I really don't like what they did with Finn and stuff. I think that they did his character dirty in the 2 sequels, because he was set up really well in The Force Awakens, and everything, but I feel like he was a little bit better in this one than he was the last one. I liked his character arc and how he almost sacrificed himself and everything, and also the Rose Tico character, which everybody loves to hate on. I don't really have anything against her. I wouldn't say she's one of my favorite characters or anything, but she's kind of like Jar Jar. I don't think she deserves the hate she gets, but yeah, although she isn't as annoying as Jar Jar, I can understand more on Jar Jar getting the hate, but there's been a lot of really jacked up stuff happened to the actress. She's been bullied and stuff on social media and everything, and picked on because of her race and all that because of this movie. I don't think that's very fair to her, and everything, because I think that the actress that plays Rose Tico does a really good job, and Rose isn't really that much of an annoying character. She was kind of likable to me, and everything. I liked how the stuff that she brought to the table and everything, but she's totally wasted in the next one. So her character is pointless, like most stuff in this movie is pointless. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of The Last Jedi. I hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good day, everybody.
Yeah!